Hello, everybody. My name is Jenny, and guess what? I'm on the HCG diet, which is kind of the dumbest thing to do, but I'm doing it anyway just because it's the only thing that works. I'm going to try my best next weekend when I'm gone for 3 full days in the Amish country with Amish food to try to eat right. I don't know. Takes a while for this all to get in your system and get going. I started the drops yesterday. I'm kind of just diving in today. I just finished all my classes this morning, and normally I would go and get something to eat, which is a horrible habit because I've never been hungry for breakfast. I've never been a morning breakfast eater, ever. Ever. And I have just developed some really, really poor habits, and I know they're just habits. It's not true hunger. I want to eat so bad right now, I can't even tell you. I'm not hungry. But my desire to go to the kitchen and get something to eat at the end of these classes is just, and this is why I'm doing the video. I just thought I need to distract myself and do something else. I used to finish my classes, I'd do a video, I'd get on the treadmill, I'd do some work, I might even take a nap because I do the split shift so I don't get 8 hours of sleep at night, and then I'd have something to eat and every day, and I was fine doing that. I need to get back into the routine of it. I just feel like I need something to kick my ass and get it back into gear properly. And why is it? But HCG is the only thing that works. Ugh. HCG is the only thing that works. I'm a mess. Okay, so here we go. Not ideal. It would be much better if I could start this next week. I'm going to do my best. Worst case scenario, if I end up at the end of this week having lost nothing, it's better than staying on the trajectory that I'm on right now, which is a continual slow increase. It needs to end. It needs to stop. We're putting my foot down right here and right now today. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the protocol. Talk some more about that. Let's talk about the duration of treatment, ironically, because I don't know if I'm going to end up stopping it after a week and then starting back on again. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that. We'll see. I'm going to try to plug through next weekend and stay on the protocol. It may be an impossibility. Okay. Um, the duration of treatment is this category. Patients who need to lose 15 pounds or less require 26 days of treatment with 23 daily doses. The extra 3 days are needed because all patients must continue the 500 calorie diet for 3 days after the last dosage. Okay, so first of all, I glanced through this briefly this morning before doing this video, and I have to say that I did get some excited peace of mind when I read this opening sentence because I get caught up in a lot of the stuff online when you read about different people who blog and vlog and post and everything else online about HCG, about how they are losing 1 to 2 pounds a day. And then or people say they average a pound. I average a half a pound a day. So in the course of a month, I lose about 15 pounds. In a round of HCG, I typically lose about 10 to 15 pounds if you're going to count like 23 days. And it's usually a good month is about 15 pounds in a month, averaging. Some days the scale will say -2, and some days the scale will say -0. And it all averages out to a half a pound a day for me. So it was refreshing when I first looked at this and glanced over it to see that the original protocol says basically a half a pound a day is the average. It says if you need to lose 15 pounds or less, 26 days on the treatment you should be. 23 of those on the protocol with HCG, 3 more days without HCG. Okay, I'm going to continue reading now. This is a very essential part of treatment because if they start eating normally as long as there is even a trace of HCG in their body, they will put on weight alarmingly at the end of treatment. After 3 days, when all the HCG has been eliminated, this does not happen because the blood is then no longer saturated with food and can thus accommodate the extra influx from the intestines without increasing its volume by retaining water. Okay, so it's basically saying because of the extra food that's already in the bloodstream that's being pulled from the fat centers, that adding more to it is a saturation. But I find this interesting if you read it again. Because the blood is no longer saturated with food and can thus accommodate the extra influx from the intestines without increasing its volume by retaining water. So, a big part of what's happening if you still have some HCG in your system or when you cheat is partly not just, whoa, I'm really gaining weight now, because the scale is not your friend when you cheat. It comes right out here and mentions that it's water retention that is happening as part of that. Not that we want to see an increase on the scale at all, but years ago when I first started this, I just thought magically if you cheated on this diet that you literally put on weight like fat stores in your body. So, would have been nice to maybe read the protocol before doing it the first time, right? All right, I'm going to continue reading. We never give a treatment lasting less than 26 days, even if patients need to lose only 5 pounds. Okay, let me step aside again. Who in God's green earth would go on this diet if they only need to lose 5 pounds? I, and who's out there that only needs to lose 5 pounds in their life? Whoever it is, I don't want to know who you are. All right, there's so many better diets and other diets you can do to lose 5 pounds. This diet wasn't designed for a 5 pound weight loss. Okay, but it says even if they only need to lose 5 pounds, they should stay on the HCG hormone for 26 days. It seems that even in the mildest cases of obesity, the diasymphalin, or hypothalamus, as we've learned earlier, requires about 3 weeks rest from the maximal exertion to which it has been previously subjected in order to regain fully its normal fat banking capacity. Clinically, this expresses itself in the fact that when in these mild cases, treatment is stopped as soon as the weight is normal, which may be achieved in a week, it is much more easily regained than after a full course of the 23 doses. Okay, so this is just a metabolic explanation about the hypothalamus and resetting it and blah, 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 blah. Basically, well, he's going to go on and explain what you should do, because you shouldn't just be eating 500 calories the whole time, because that would result in weight loss. All right, so if you only have to lose 5 pounds, and for whatever reason you're on HCG, I think those people were on it simply because he was doing a study. And so he was looking at all different types and different amounts of people and weight that they have to lose. Okay, suffice it to say, anybody who needs to lose 5 pounds is not obese. So this really should be a diet for those who are obese or close to being obese. Okay. So he's saying you need to stay on the hormone for the additional period of time. And let me go on and explain that. As soon as such patients have lost all their abnormal extra fat, superfluous, I just find a hard time saying that word, they at once begin to feel ravenously hungry in spite of continued doses. This is because HCG only puts abnormal fat into circulation and cannot, in the doses used, liberate normal fat deposits. Indeed, it seems to prevent their consumption. As soon as their statistically normal weight is reached, these patients are to be put on an 800 to 1,000 calorie for the remainder of the treatment. Okay, there's so much here. There's so much I want to comment on. Okay. All right. So this is because HCG only puts, so they get hungry when they're on HCG. And I always say one of the reasons that I really like HCG is that it suppresses my appetite. not significantly, like after the ruptured appendix and I got out of the hospital when like I really did not want to eat at all. Um, but it definitely keeps me from wanting to eat, from being hungry, from hunger pains, from a growling stomach, from the only thing I still have on this diet is my own brain telling me I want to eat because the habit of eating and the amount and frequency of eating that I've been doing in my day. Um, but I am the first to admit that I like HCG because it kind of suppresses my appetite. And if I can keep myself distracted and doing something else, I can just eat the 500 calories a day and be satisfied with it. Okay, so they're explaining right here. I didn't really understand the concept of the appetite suppressant. I don't know what is in appetite suppressants or anything like that. He's saying that um, you have your appetite suppressed because, which obviously makes sense, but anyway, still was a light bulb moment for me. Because your body is taking fat out of the fat reserves in your body and putting it into your bloodstream. And once that's in your bloodstream, then you feel satisfied and you're not hungry. It's without the fat in your bloodstream that you feel hungry. Now, if you've lost the amount of weight that you need to lose and there's nothing else you need to lose, and HCG takes the fat out of your body and puts it in your bloodstream, the HCG will not take the good fats. It will not take the fats that are surrounding your organs that are need to keep you vitally healthy. So, in that case, that is when you will still be on HCG but experience hunger because your body doesn't have anything else it needs to lose healthily, which is kind of amazing that it knows how to do that. All right, so in these cases, because you are going to be hungry and because you aren't pulling any more fat reserves, but you are still staying on HCG, you are supposed to be eating 800 to 1,000 calories. This is the only time that you should be eating like 1,000 calories and being on HCG at the same time. Okay, the diet is arranged in such a way that the weight remains perfectly stationary and is thus continued for 3 days after the 23rd dose. So, only then are the patients free to eat anything they please, except sugar and starches for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so they too are going to do that 3 days of staying on the restricted calories, which for these people, I don't even know why I'm spending a lot of time on this. How many of us are in this situation? Really, this doesn't apply to any of us. All right. I just find the science of it interesting, so that's why I'm explaining it. I guess by understanding the science of it for this type of person, we better understand it for our own body types, which is larger than needing to lose 5 pounds in my case. All right, let me continue on. Such early cases are common amongst actresses, models, and persons who are tired of obesity, have seen its ravages in other members of their family. Film actresses frequently explain that they must weigh less than normal. With this request, we flatly refuse to comply, first because we undertake to cure a disorder, not to create a new one, and second because it is the nature of the HCG method that it is self limiting. It becomes completely ineffective as soon as all abnormal fat is consumed. Actresses with a slight tendency to obesity have tried all manner of reducing methods, invariably come to the conclusion that their figure is satisfactory when they are underweight, simply because none of these methods remove their extra fat deposits. When they see that under HCG their figure improves out of all proportion to the amount of weight loss, they are nearly always content to remain within their normal weight range. Okay, so he's basically saying for people who are obsessed in losing more weight, but they're at their normal weight, but they think they need to be losing more weight, and they can go on this diet and they understand that being on the HCG hormone, it's going to take your bad fat away, and if they're not losing anything at all, it means that there is no bad fat left in their body, and then they come to the resolution of, okay, then I will embrace the body that I have, which is obviously a slamming body, and they should be happy with it. All right, almost done. Here we go. This is for you and me, folks. When a patient has more than 15 pounds to lose, the treatment takes longer, but the maximum we give in a single course is 40 doses. All right. So, um, typically I find doing the 23, or I usually do like between 23. Everything you read says you either do the 23 or you do the 40. Like, why can't you do 30 or 35? I, there is no logical reason why you can't. So, what I find is I tend to go to the 3 week mark and get to about 23, and then at that point maybe push it a few more days and then kind of give up, and then I usually fall off the wagon and have to come back on again. So really what I need to do is 40 days. I just have issues with the hair loss. It hasn't happened in a while since I've started the vitamins, but I'm just shell shocked because it was so bad the one time. So they're saying if you have more than 15 pounds to lose, significantly more, the treatment takes longer, but the maximum is 40 doses. Okay. Nor do we as a rule allow patients to lose more than 34 pounds at a time. That's good to know. Oh, God, I would love to lose 34 pounds. That would put me in my perfect weight. Well, maybe not perfect. Well, basically perfect. If I could lose 34 pounds. Okay, I'm sorry, I digress. I got distracted. How wonderful would that be? Okay, the treatment is stopped when either 34 pounds have been lost or 40 doses have been given. The only exception we make is in the case of grotesquely obese patients who may be allowed to lose an additional 5 to 6 pounds if this occurs before the 40 doses are up. Okay, so this is the first time I ever remember reading that there's a maximum of how much weight you should lose within a cycle of doing HCG. I never knew that 34 pounds. I would venture to guess that 34 pounds is probably pretty close to what I lost the first time that I did it. And I didn't do it right the first time. I did 3 weeks. I took a week off, and then I did another 3 weeks. So it was a little bit over 40 days, but I had a week break in between. Again, not following protocol, and again, not even being aware of what the protocol was the first time I did it. This is just what I did to, like, because I had the mindset of I can do anything for 3 weeks. I can do anything for 3 weeks. I can do anything for 3 weeks. I'm just going to do this for 3 weeks. And I never had the 23, 26 day thing in mind. I just thought of it as 21. But I guess if you count loading, that makes sense. Um, so that's what I did. But I also lost a ton of hair. But I probably, over those two things, probably lost about 34 pounds. Significant. It was significant. Oh, it felt so good. I just remember at the time thinking, I'm never going to put this weight on again. Right back. Here I am. Issues. All right, so that's all I have in that area today on the duration of treatment. So now we all know how long treatment should be. It says you should pick either the 26 or the 40, 26 days or 40 days, which is 23 doses, and I would guess 37 doses, because it says days, right? Let me double check that. Oh no, 40 doses. So that would be 43 days. Okay, so either 40 doses or 23 doses are for some reason the two options he gives you. I can see no logical reason why you can't just do anything between 23 and 40 and stop at any given time, but there you go. All right, that's all for today. Here we go, back on the bandwagon. Happy to be with you. Hope this is recording. I never double checked. Oh, it looks like it is recording. Okay, good. I will be in touch probably more often because I think I might need this as my sanity to encourage myself when I'm having the significant temptation to just eat because I want to. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.